rivalries. We all love them so much. Players, they hate each other. The fans also hate each other. Literally everything about rivalries makes baseball better. But I'm not gonna lie, some rivalries we all know are better than others. And I'm gonna be going through all of the rivalries today, the bad, the good, ugly. So make sure you watch to the end. If you have any opinions about these rivalries too, I'd love to have my comment section turn into a bunch of arguments for this video. So please go say some hot take in the comment below, and let's get one of your rival teams' fans to start arguing with you. Okay, how I have this set up is I went down and wrote the worst rivalries, then the middle, and then the best. The worst rivalries that I found were the Red Sox and Guardians. I didn't even know this was a rivalry, but yes, that's pretty bad. The Marlins and Mariners, apparently because one's the most northwest and one's the most southeast because they're on the other side of the country. That's pretty bad. The Reds and the Orioles because one's red and one's orange. Yeah, I'm not debating these right now. I think these are pretty bad. Pretty much any rivalry with the Rockies right now is bad. I'm just going to say, if the rivals have any teams, I don't think anyone is interested in it. As far as the worst rivalries go, those are about how far they go. So now into the middle, the mid. The rivalries that are not the best, but definitely not the worst. Starting off with the Orioles versus Red Sox. I actually like this one a lot. I almost would have put it in the best, but the Yankees and the Red Sox is way bigger, so I just left that one in instead of this one. But that is a great matchup, especially when the Orioles are playing good. Last season, it was peak because they were both running for the playoffs. The Battle of the Sox, pretty good rivalry just because of the names. The Battle of Texas, Astros versus the Rangers. This was great in the World Series. Or, not World Series. This was great in the playoffs, but now it's just, I'd put it in mid. But you know which team is better in Texas? The Rangers. Sorry, I just had this sticker right here. I had to.
It's 1-1. On a line, left field and gone!
You know, just another reason for you to argue in the comments. Pirates versus Phillies. Battle of Pennsylvania, not Philadelphia. Right now, Phillies are way better in every category, but if the Pirates were better, besides from just having Paul Skeens, this could be a very interesting game to watch. Moving on, Cubs versus White Sox. Battle of Chicago. I don't think this is in the best rivalries, but it's definitely a really good rivalry. The Giants were playing the White Sox when I went. I made a video about it. Go watch it up here. But the next series they had was the White Sox versus Cubs, so I thought it would be cool to go to that, but I wasn't able to make it. Cubs versus Cardinals. Sometimes the Cubs versus Cardinals, believe it or not, can get pretty heated. They've gotten some big fights down there in St. Louis.
He runs hot.
Nats versus Mets.
I'm told this is a fluid bullpen.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Buck Showalter's immediately out. We talked about how this was a really tense game yesterday. And both dugouts are out and they're on the field. Dugouts have cleared bullpen.
The Nationals used to be super good, and when they were in 2019, this was a peak series, but now, sadly, the Nats are kind of degraded and they're not beating the Mets. Giants versus Padres. I know you might say this isn't the best. I know lots of people like this rivalry, but I would arguably say that the Giants and Dodgers, Padres and Dodgers, or Dodgers and Giants, they're in the best, so keep watching to the end. But I think out of all of them, you can't have all the ones in the best, so Giants versus Padres is staying in mid. Blue Jays versus Orioles. Sue me. I don't care. I really like this rivalry, and last year, this had lots of playoff implications. So the rivalry for these two last year were insane. This year, not so much just because the Orioles started so bad. The D-backs versus Dodgers. I'm not going to say anything about this, but I just put it in mid. Braves and Phillies. I know people say lots of stuff about this could be the best, but I'm going to be honest, the Braves are not in playoff contention. When they are, I would say this isn't the best, but the Braves just are not good enough to compete against the Phillies record-wise, so not best. The Battle of the A's. Athletics versus the Angels. Those are the mid rivals. Before I move on, I want to give shout-outs to subscribers. If you don't know, every video I'm giving 3 shout-outs to 3 subscribers, so make sure you subscribe and leave a like, and you can be on next week's video. Here are the 3 subscribers right here. These people are legends, and this could be you next week, so thank you. Moving on to the best rivalries of baseball. These are games you don't want to miss. Your friends will be mad at you because you are sitting on the couch watching it. No shocker here, but the Red Sox versus Yankees. They just played and the Red Sox destroyed them, but I would love to see this matchup in the playoffs. If this was a playoff game, I would probably get fat because I would just sit there and watch and eat a bunch of food. But no shocker there, one of the biggest rivalries ever since the beginning of time. So this one might be a little more controversial, but the Astros versus Yankees. If you don't know, the Astros cheated to beat the Yankees to make it to the World Series.
Altuve has just sent the Astros to the...
And ever since then, they both hated each other. And even though the Astros don't cheat right now that we know of, they're actually pretty good. So this rivalry is evening out, and it could be really interesting to watch, and it is. Especially, I think, in person at Yankee Stadium. I would love to go to a game versus the Astros. The Giants versus the Dodgers. San Fran versus LA. The tech company versus Okay, I'm going to stop it there. But anyway, this rivalry is pretty good in my opinion. I think everyone thinks that it is, pretty much. So, not much to say. Good rivalry. I think all California teams just have a vendetta from those other teams and just hate each other. The Padres hate every team. I kind of exclude the Athletics. The Athletics aren't that much rivals. They were with San Francisco until they moved. And then I kind of just gutted that. So, next is Padres versus Dodgers. Yeah, it's a big rivalry and a really good one to watch too. I love just how fans hate each other, the teams hate each other, and they also are toe-and-toe, so they need to keep winning. I think the next 2 are probably the most controversial on the best list, but Phillies versus Mets. These 2 teams are gonna make the playoffs probably, and they play each other, and both of their fans are 2 of the most crazy fan bases ever, so they always argue, scream. If you go to a game, trust me, you should. It just feels like a bunch of drunk energy. People are literally drunk just screaming at each other. So I would say Phillies versus Mets, definitely in the best category for a rivalry. And I know this next rivalry, they do not play that much, but the Yankees versus Mets, it's the Battle of New York. You can't not put this in best. This is one of my favorite series to watch. The Pinstripes versus the Blue. This is my list of all the baseball rivals. If I missed any, make sure you leave a comment. Remember, also, go argue in the comments. I'm serious about that. Let's do it. Everyone, make sure you leave a like. These videos take a long time to edit, and subscribe. To my other videos that I've done, make sure you go click on the screen right now. I went to multiple baseball games in Milwaukee, Cincinnati, and Chicago. I don't ever remember the cities because I went to so many. But the videos are on screen, so go watch.